Is Jubilee wrong for platforming these people? I think it's okay to argue with people. I think that's fine or whatever. I don't know where they find so many grippers from, though. I feel like half that audience was literally Fuentes fans. Thank you for that, yes. Konmiko writes Neurocar. What's Neurocar? Is it controlled by your brain?
You are worried about
danger.
Your life.
Okay,
yes.
got it.
Okay, so there's the start when you want to go.
How do I? Is there? Oh, is that the gas pedal?
She's gonna drive you.
Oh, okay. I'm at her mercy. I am at her mercy. Hi, Nero. Oh God, Val, watch out, Val. I'm coming for you, Val. Oh my God.
4 a.m. in the fucking morning.
So good. Jesus Christ.
I should look at my sealed.
True. What are all these like podcast bro dipshits who are like, I can't believe that Trump is like deporting people like this. It's crazy or whatever. What was the picture of like all the like who could have guessed? How could we have ever known? How could we have possibly known this? It's like, damn.
Does anybody have a moment they knew that they loved their person, that they were going to marry that person? Yeah? What was yours?
One of the first nights we hung out, he spent all night talking about techno.
He spent all night talking about techno to you. Really? How do you talk about techno? So what do you do? That's trans? Okay, what did the beat used to sound like?
Okay. Good one. Adding in Minecraft doesn't count. The courts know what that means. I remember this from a long time ago. Remember, we get credit for that. We started this trend, okay? Gentle reminder, use private messaging groups, not public social media posts. By private, I mean encrypted.
Right than being match fire with fire. I think Democrats in the past too often have been more concerned with being right than being in power. And we've seen Republicans only care about being in power regardless of what is right.
So you support the Newsom effort because California right now has an independent commission that does districts in as fair a way as possible, in nonpartisan way as possible. And you're saying Democrats should, even though you don't approve of it, Democrats should do it too.
We have to get serious. We have to be absolutely ruthless about getting back in power. So yes, in California, in Illinois, in New York, wherever we have the trifecta of power, we have to use that to its absolute extent. And then the last thing, this may end up biting Republicans in the ass. You have the possibility that they will disperse Republican voters to make up these 3 or 4 or 5 new congressional districts and put those districts in play. So in Texas, we've got to get out there and register and meet the voters who are going to decide the outcomes in these next elections if they're successful with this redistricting. Our group, Powered by People.
Audio's not synced up? No. They just have the microphones like really far back in the studio, so it takes a few seconds for the voice to travel there.
Is doing this right now on the ground. We can't wait for 2026. We got to do the work right now in 2025.
So
Jesus. Why? Okay. Starting August 1st, Steak and Shake will offer Coca-Cola with real cane sugar in glass bottles. Make America healthy again is winning. Okay. Fucking kill me. This is the American version of the instant katana slice. Oh, this is that revolver speed shooter guy or whatever.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the fastest gun in the world right here. Wow. Bob, you are quick.
Well, the first reaction that people have when they see this draw is, now, wait a minute, could you really hit anything doing that?
Right.
Well, let me show you my own way with a target that is indeed out of the holster. Let me set this target up. I'll shoot about 8 feet away because I'm shooting blanks now. Here we go.
Now, in terms of time, Bob, how quick was that?
I draw, cock, level, fire this gun, and hit what I'm shooting at in less than 2.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading this person's Twitter. Sucrose, cane sugar, glucose, and fructose, molecule bonded. You consume 50% glucose, 50% fructose. High fructose corn syrup is also 50-50 glucose and fructose. Corn syrup, 100% glucose. Glucose isomerase converts 50% to fructose, swapping HFCS for cane sugar and soda ain't doing shit. They're bonded together in sucrose and not bonded in HFCS, high fructose corn syrup. These are not the same. You're a shill for big food. Big food. You realize Coca-Cola is the same company making both versions, and you form a unique thought ever. Pharma and the sick care system are the biggest losers here. Whoa. Okay.
Men only want one thing, and it's not money, it's not power, it's not love.
I'm getting the golden whale right now. It's coming. Here it is. Fuck this chat.
And so, for me personally,
what's up, everybody? Apparently, we ruined America. You know,
Nice.
We were trying to hold the person in power, President Trump, accountable for not fulfilling some of his promises, and that was foolish, man.
Nah, you're an idiot.
That
dude.
was
You're
a
a bad
foolish
person.
thing to do. Once you vote for somebody, no matter what they do, even if it's the exact opposite of what they say they're going to do, you just ride that until the wheels fall off.
Yes, double
Right?
down.
Exactly.
Always double down.
Like, he's right on some level, right? You got to give former MAGA's room to say, you know what, we were wrong. You do. I don't care what anyone tells you. I'm sorry, the left is not violent enough, and the left is not aggressive enough to play a winner takes all.
What are these sound effects?
I'm sorry, the left is not violent enough, and the left is not aggressive enough to play a winner takes all kind of strategy.
Nigga, you just hating, feel me?
Fortunately, yes, we are going to have to team up with former MAGAs. But I will say this, though. My big issue with the whole situation here is that Andrew Schultz and friends are sitting there saying, oh, man, somehow
There's no way we could have known.
it's wrong for us to critique the guy, you know, who we voted for and try to hold him accountable. Nigga, the fact that you're on camera saying you're trying to hold Donald Trump accountable goes to show you were never paying attention. You have no idea what's up. Like, you literally do not know what is. The immunity ruling, if anyone actually read it, should have been the end of anyone thinking Donald Trump would ever think he could ever be held accountable, ever. He's never held accountable by his supporters. He's never held accountable by his base, by his Republican stooges. He's never held accountable by anyone. And to think that in the wake of the Supreme Court giving him immunity for staging and engaging in insurrection, you thought you were going to hold him accountable? Andrew Schultz is right. We do need to understand the power of platforms like his, and we do need to give people who feel like they don't want to be in the Trump train anymore, we do need to give them room to say, hey, we're off the Trump Trump train. The problem is, y'all don't seem to want to actually look into what the fuck is wrong with Republican conservative ideology. You actually seem to want to just wash your hands the moment the Epstein situation goes awry and pretend like, oh man, well, you know, you guys are actually assholes for getting on our case about what we did support. Let us in. It's like, wait. Do you not think anything was wrong with what they did? Like, the Epstein stuff is easy to condemn.
9/11 was bad.
Anything else was wrong? What do you think should be done to Trump in the event that he, you know, I don't know, like violates the Constitution for the 100th time? Like, what do you think? Like, they just want to be able to ride the wave. They just want to be able to ride the wave. And I get it. Politics is fun. It's engaging because of...
True. Jesus. Listen, I was invited by Fresh and Fit. What do you want me to say? I thought this was like a joke. Like a Spanish, like, are you in La Area? But it's in LA area.
They concluded there was no problem. And then all of it, that was the rank and file. These were career people.
Deep State kicked into gear and did what they used.
Match fire with fire.
Can you admit at this point that when Sam Hyde did that video, that it was very funny?
No.
I'm friends with you. That was very funny.
I always, like, I had no idea who the fuck this dude was at all. Like,
I'm gonna kill you! He was doing,
At the time, I didn't know who this guy was, right? And I'm like, why is this fucking ugly freak, like, yelling about me all the time? Like, I just didn't even know.
You should have hit me up and I would have crafted your response. You gotta do like your own character. Do like an Iron Sheik or something.
The reason why I didn't
do
that...
Fuck to you, Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde, the fuck to you.
I am not doing this optics game, okay? Shadow slavery, me, I'm so special. Slavery is so much worse.
Where are my African American friends in chat? Don't defend. Why? Okay.
Would be 0. And so for me personally,
all right. Should I start reading on Epstein stuff? I don't know if there's any other breaking news stuff today to cover.
You're being very disrespectful. Get out of his room. I am his wife.
You can save.
You see that, Tim?
£200 off for a family of 4.
Help!
We've got millions
Help!
of free child.
Did you see that, Tim? I want to press charges.
With 22 kilograms of baggage included.
What? Why was I linked? I have no fucking idea what the fuck I just watched. Okay.
Unser Rentensystem kippt, unsere Sozialsysteme kippen,
was machen Sie?
unser Bildungssystem kippt. Ich sage das seit 10 Jahren. Wissen Sie, seit 10 Jahren.
Am 1. Juli sind die Zusatzbeiträge bei der, zum Beispiel bei der...
Apparently there's some AFD shit choir that follows her around and sings when she gives interviews.
Ja, weil die Leute mitfinanzieren müssen.
Ganz viele Leute haben diese ganz konkrete Frage und
so nichts.
Sie sagen jetzt eine allgemeine...
Ich habe Ihre konkrete Frage, es ist extrem lustig hier. Es ist ziemlich einfach zu beantworten. Sie sprechen mit einer Volkswirtin. So. Und ich kann Ihnen ganz einfach sagen, es ist gar nicht so schwer zu verstehen. Ein Sozialversicherungssystem funktioniert, in dem diejenigen, die einzahlen, im Versicherungsfall ausgezahlt werden. Wenn Sie aber Millionen von Menschen haben, die
Do I care about this? Wait, what is this? Hold on. It's 2025 and Twitch partners are still self-promoting in people's chats. DJ Clancy. I am shamelessly going into chat of streamers I know to ask for raids when they are done. I'm doing my first charity stream for St. Jude's as part of the GCX Marathon. Not listening. Since I'm streaming, I'm going till 1 a.m. Why? Fuck. Might grab a sandwich. Hold on. You want to intro this? 1 second.
Eat the rich. What we do here is go back. Eat the rich. Eat the
everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Content Cop. Now, I'm very excited for today's episode. Cameron, I could not be more excited to see you go after Hassan Patcher. I believe that, and indeed, it would be easy money to talk about this arrogant and immoral piece of shit until the end of time. In the end, I'd get a nice check, and Hassan would have a new name in his little circle of people that he likes to blame whenever someone tries to hold him to account. And as fun as all of that sounds, if you're expecting me to stoke the flames of this forever war, you're gonna be pretty disappointed, because this video does not focus on Hassan Piker. Actually, I've had a completely different streamer in mind since the day I announced I would be continuing Content Cop myself. And many of you may be very happy to hear this name. He's very spineless, and just like his daddy, he's a horrible friend, and he loves to dodge accountability. Let's up those numbers! The one and only Ludwig, or as I like to call him, Hassan's Piker. For those upset that this video is actually focused on Hassan's lapdog rather than relitigating all the bullshit he's done over the years, you can watch Ethan's Content Nuke or any of the wide variety of great videos that Willie Mack has made on the subject. Those will be linked in the description, and also, don't worry, this doesn't mean I don't plan on ever criticizing Hassan or don't have plans to cover him in a video like this. It's probably not going to be a Content Cop. He requires a fucking SWAT team, okay? This isn't a normal arrest. But if you want to know my rationale for this bait and switch, I'll put it on screen. Today's theme on Content Cop is purity. To briefly describe Ludwig and his content, he is a popular Twitch streamer, YouTuber, and a 30-year-old charismatic frat boy with a disingenuous feeling personality.
Fucking 30 years old. We got a 30-year-old man calling me fucking ugly on a goddamn social media website.
He's also the longtime partner of QT Cinderella, who will also be mentioned in this video. Mario, this is no to Fireflower, Mario.
Oh yeah, Ouija time.
His content consists of these cowardly, shitty, hypocritical takes. A lot of it's very boring. He also runs these streamer events where they just feel like these self-flagellation spectacles rather than anything of substance. Like a big fucking game of Soggy Biscuit where everyone's just gonna jerk each other off. Do you like that, Mr. Patcher? Could I interest you in some baby oil? No, Mr. Patcher. Don't worry, Mr. Patcher. There's a lot more where that came from. All of that alone made him someone on my radar and made me start writing for this fucking video. However, the cherry on top is his blatant dodging of accountability and his part in a certain epidemic that we will be discussing later today. Alert! Alert! Hassan's feelings were hurt. Alert! Alert! Hassan's feelings were hurt.
Why is Hassan mad? What did I do?
Today's episode of Content Cop Reload is sponsored by my socials and my lovely patrons and members. For behind-the-scenes content and live streams, be sure to check out my second channel, Chaotic Cameron. Join the Discord server and interact with the community. And don't forget to follow that Twitter and Instagram. Or you could support me like these lovely people by becoming a patron or channel member. Lastly, we're getting really close to 100K, so take it away, Ludwig.
Let's up those numbers!
Now, before I go any further, I want to make something clear on a more serious note. I don't hate Ludwig, and by no means do I think he's the worst person on Twitch. Not at all. I've just always got this disingenuous vibe from him. I think he's a coward who's been showing his ass for a while without any criticism, and that's why I'm making this video. Now, while I was working on this video, a giant controversy involving Ludwig occurred, which we will be going over in more detail, but to summarize, at one of his streamer events, Ludwig invited his alcoholic friend and then encouraged him to abuse alcohol to a dangerous and deadly degree. This caused many uncomfortable situations, especially for the female guests, which Ludwig dodged all accountability for. This incident only reinforced the criticism I had already planned to bring forward, but I needed to mention it regardless. So with that, today we'll be giving Ludwig his long-awaited purity test and seeing how his content holds up against his values.
Please stop calling me gay.
Have you ever met someone that just doesn't really have a personality? Like they completely shift who they are and what their values are depending on their environment? Well, our chameleon jellyfish friend Ludwig here does that a lot. Of course, it's natural to adapt to your environment and those around you, but I'm talking like a complete shift in personality and morals depending on who you need to appease. In one of his mogul mails, Ludwig covers Hassan's streaming is more soul-crushing than a 9-to-5 job comment.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome, a real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
Ludwig is anything but negative towards Hassan in these clips. He's extremely soft on him. Yeah, he pokes a little bit of fun, but he shows the full context, and that's that. He was extremely fair. But then Hassan finds out and watches, and he gets mad, and his feelings get hurt, and his chat is like, L Ludwig.
As a streamer myself for almost 6 years now, on how hard it really is. I'm kidding. I would look. I just.
Oh God, it's such a fake fucking thing to do. Using someone who you're friends with, like being maliciously clipped out of context to be like, I'm actually one of the good content creators. Like, it's like no different than what Muda did. He showed the context though. It doesn't fucking matter that he showed the context. It's like, it's odd that I have to just like sit here and be like, yeah, that's right, dude. Yeah, wag your fucking finger at me. He fucking threw me to the flames.
And this is like the end of the world. Hassan's mad.
Call Hassan and apologize.
Hassan's mad. I've got to get SpongeBob back.
Why is Hassan mad? What did I do? What'd I do?
I'm sorry, Hassan Patcher.
Because I'm a mogul male? I feel like everything I said was fine. Am I crazy? Farmed for views? Oh, well, I mean, shit, if that's the deal. I'll just fucking pull him out of the thumbnail, and then I feel like it doesn't really...
Please take my offering.
That's a change on the fly, baby.
Delete the video. We can't have that. You cannot be mad, Hassan Patcher. New video, new take, okay. He called it a re-upload, but it was a new take the next video. Oh, and to explain why he had to re-record the video instead of saying that he has to fix his wording for Hassan, he decides to blame drama commentators instead. It's fucking hilarious.
I was just being used in a proxy war for people who don't like Hassan. Why the fuck am I being used for that? Good. It's crazy. It's crazy people. And this is the one that sent me over the edge. Now, this is a DM from a guy that said no balls.
Oh, that sent you over the edge, dude. The ego on this motherfucker. I'll expand upon this in a later part of the video, but I wanted to bring up this example specifically because it's very obvious that Ludwig wants to appease as many people as possible. Now, I'm no mind reader. I don't know his intentions, but it might have something to do with the fact that he organizes a lot of streamer events, that his, girlfriend runs the streamer awards and has a podcast with Hassan, or maybe he's just a nice guy. I don't know, but my critique is that it feels very inauthentic and fake. And, of course, if nothing bad came of this, then I probably wouldn't be talking to you about it. But as we all know, that's just simply not the case. With the burden of having to appease as many people as possible, there are going to be a few hiccups along the way when you're trying to virtue signal for all that desired approval.
I find ultimately, like, if I were to do a charity thing where the charity thing relies on your donations, it should be something where, like, 95% of people feel good and are down for it. And like ultimately, regardless of what you think, that is not the situation here. So I personally donated 10K because I think it is worthwhile. And if you guys got some extra bread, I would recommend you donate, but I won't throw it on you. You know what I mean? No thanks. And some people are going to say that, you know what I mean? That's why it's the difference.
This is a cracker take.
Difference between like, hey, I can put my money where my mouth is, but I don't need to put your money there. I don't need to enter a fucking debate about whether that's worthwhile.
Take. Hey, I know Arabs are dying, but you know, I'm not gonna tell you to donate. Me, I donated $10,000, but I'm not gonna promote it. Just don't say you donated $10,000. And if you're not against genocide at this point, like, keep your fucking money. Keep your $10,000. Keep your little chump change. Like,
now Ludwig obviously is not in the wrong in the example that I just played, but it is really funny seeing him try to dodge all the fucking bullets like it's the goddamn Matrix, and yet he's still not able to appease one of Hassan's moderators or Hassan himself.
Two wrongs don't make it right. He was bad and trying to appeal to everyone and not take a real solid stance, but Frogan should have called him that. No, I don't give a shit about like someone being called a cracker, okay? As someone who is white and has like used that word myself.
And this shit's already cucked. He already defends Hassan tooth and nail all the time. Mr. Hassan Petcher, I would never spec ill of you. Take some baba oil. He loves the baba oil on his fetch. But it's especially cucked given the fact that he was going apeshit defending her over Ethan misspeaking about the order of which she won Rising Star of the Year. And by God, let me tell you, that star is still rising.
Based?
She gets nominated for Rising Star again. Are they?
Now, I tried messaging to deal with it offline, but this is just wrong. And not only like wrong information, it's like fake and doctored information. First off,
at the street.
Look, I won't speak for Cutie. I'm not friends with Frogan. I don't particularly like Frogan. The problem here is that he goes on to say, oh, she won an award and then got nominated the next year and then has a joke. This is a totally fake image. And when I did a bit of research, I did a reverse image search, I find out this fake image came from Destiny's subreddit a few months ago. To be clear, it is true that she was nominated in 2021 and lost, and then was again nominated 2022 and then won.
Oh yeah, did I mention that he also co-hosts the Streamer Award?
Keep your little chump change. Like,
yeah, Ludwig, keep your chump change. In fact, never fucking show your face around here again. Go be a VTuber. Go use your chump change on VTubing. You know, Ludwig's a pure guy. He'll tell you himself. He loves to virtue signal. Like, there was this time where Hassan and a bunch of buddies decided to attack this YouTuber in the name of feminism, and for some reason, Ludwig just decided it was a perfect time to jump in. But he doesn't like to cover drama, of course. He's Ludwig from video games. But we can break this rule if it's in the name of feminism, of course. And my problem there is when you make blanket posts on issues that fucking everyone agrees on just to get good boy points from your peers and audience who eat that shit up. Now, this is not a problem exclusive to Ludwig, but it's still extremely pretentious and annoying, especially from people who actually have the means to fucking do something. This is the type of shit that turns people who would otherwise be more outspoken and willing to take action for the cause away from wanting to support it at all. It would be better to donate to or promote resources that actually help the cause you're virtue signaling about, or at least add a meaningful discussion to whatever the fuck you're bitching about. Otherwise, please, shut the fuck up.
Stay Willie in high school once and it was just a little mistake.
Ludwig is not just a chameleon. He's also a jellyfish. No spine, no opinions, just blending in. Now, if I were a betting man, I would bet that this man's ass has a lot of splinters. He loves to sit on that fence. We call him Splinter Ass. I'm sure there's wood all over that ass. Hassan, how much wood is on Ludwig's ass? So much wood on that ass from all that fence sitting, because he loves to sit on that fence. I'm starting to wonder if something funny is going on between Ludwig and fences, the way he loves to fence sit. Now, my earlier comments may have led you to believe that Ludwig actually makes drama content, and that's just not true. He's only Ludwig from video games. He doesn't talk about drama.
Don't care to discuss 99% of this because I'm Ludwig from video games. However, H3H3,
except for the numerous amount of times he's talked about drama. Ludwig ran a fucking boring channel called Mogul Mail where he would talk about whatever he felt like. Sometimes he would cover internet trauma that he totally cared about, or just whatever the fuck else came to his mind. On its face, I really don't have a problem with this, other than the fact I find a lot of these videos to be really fucking boring. However, when you take a look at some of the topics he chooses to cover, you see a lot of conflicts of interest. Ludwig barely ever takes a stance in any of these videos unless it's super fucking safe for him. Yet, he always expresses feeling the need to talk about it. He took weeks being so afraid to take a stance on the Mr. Beast drama because they were friends, and frankly, I assume he saw a lot of holes in the way this dipshit tried presenting this story, but was afraid to press on it because he knew his audience would tear him apart because it was popular to hate Mr. Beast at that moment in time. And on the same token, there were things that were super easy to criticize Mr. Beast for that were undeniable that he was completely dodging. Now, I should clarify he did apologize for this instance of fence sitting. However, he decided to take some random fucking ASMR channel down with him who got a little bit of information wrong. And honestly, the shit that the guy got wrong was up to semantics. It felt really unnecessary in a way to dodge some of the accountability. In some of these videos, he almost looks uncomfortable covering these situations, yet insistent on doing it anyways.
When there's a topic that needs to be talked about, not necessarily because I'm dying to talk about it, but because it is so relevant in the space that I am in, or I am perceived to be so close to said topic that not talking about it doesn't seem like an option.
Earlier, I showed the example of Ludwig deleting a mogul male over Hassan getting mad. It's a perfect example of Ludwig being a coward fence sitter. When the softest joke makes Hassan angry, he has to make damage control. What was even more cowardly was after the fact, when he made a new video recovering the situation, he tried to blame himself deleting the video on his sponsor not getting good views.
The video was called "Do Streamers Have Hard Jobs?" And the reason I took it down is because we had a great sponsor on it. But the great sponsor wasn't getting great.
Okay. Spoiler alert, it's actually about Ludwig. You missed it. Lud said the N-word like 5 times. Did he? What do we call this? The Epstein story. That's what we call it. We'll begin where all great research begins, on the wonderful website of Wikipedia. The engine of a Boeing 767 burst into flames after takeoff from LAX.
Oh, look at that! Whoa!
Well, did it really burst into flames? It seems like it's just kind of on fire, right?
Oh, look at that! Whoa!
I'm trying to think of how I would even arrange this. What's even a 767? The number of times I fucked yo mama. Yo mama. I should take notes on I'm just trying to think, if I take notes on an individual source I read, do I even include those notes? For the Ludwig stuff, I don't really have it. I just kind of like I just put together my main outline or my thing. I don't really have notes from individual sources. Watch this payback story later. Okay. Have this while I think about this for a second.
Hello?
Hi, I was looking for Ross.
There's no Ross here.
Is this 659?
Yeah?
Okay, and you're not Ross?
Who's this?
This is Jubal from Brook and Jubal in the Morning. I'm moving 92.5.
Okay.
Do you know a Ross?
Not really.
Can I be honest with you? I'm having a hard time believing that this is not a guy named Ross. Or somebody that told someone else their name is Ross and gave them this number. I'll tell you why, okay? Because one of our listeners recently met you online. This is the number they have. They said your name was Ross. You had a profile set up and everything else. They drove 2 hours to meet you, and then you ditched them at a pizza place.
What is to laugh about?
What's so funny?
I know what's going on. Trust me.
I don't. Can you tell me?
These are all fake. They get actors. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true.
I was just getting her back, okay?
What?
That's all that was going on.
You're getting her back?
Didn't we watch this one? I'm pretty sure we've watched this exact one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty ingenious on my part, actually.
I'm so confused.
All right, you sound really proud of yourself. Explain to me what you're talking about.
Well, Sheena broke up with me about 6 months ago. We dated for off and on for almost a year. I caught her cheating with another guy, so, you know, I thought I'd have a little fun.
No way.
Wait, so what did you do?
I used a picture of some other guy. I messaged her. We messaged back and forth. So I figured I'd send her on a little wild goose chase 2 hours away.
Oh my God!
Wow. So you catfished your ex-girlfriend, basically.
Pretty much.
All that work to just make her drive 2 hours away and sit at a pizza place by herself.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. It made me happy. Very happy.
Ross, you've never heard of like the high road, taking that?
She missed out on the high road about 6 months ago, so, you know.
You sound really proud of yourself.
Well, I didn't know she was going to emphasize it by calling a radio station. This is great.
I cannot believe you.
So that voice right there is Sheena.
You're on the line. You are such a childish douche. I'm like.
Oh, did I upset you? I'm so sorry. I would have loved to have seen your face, by the way, as you're looking around going, where's Ross? Where's Ross?
You are such a child.
Sheena, is this...
Oh, wow, that really hurts. My goodness.
Me why I left. Thank you for reminding me why I'm not with you.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely fucking epic. Thank you, guys. That might be the most epic fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
So maybe it's a good idea.
No, not that. All right. I guess we'll just do timelines on shit. Jeffrey Edward Epstein, January 20th, 1953 to August 10th, 2019, was an American financier and child sex offender. Does that mean he did sexual offenses as a child or two children? Born and raised in New York City, Epstein began his professional career as a teacher at the Dalton School, despite lacking a college degree. After his dismissal from the school in 1976, he entered the banking and finance sector, working at Bear Stearns in various roles before starting his own firm. Epstein cultivated an elite social circle and procured many women and children whom he and his associates sexually abused. In 2005, police in Palm Beach, Florida began investigating Epstein after a parent reported that he had sexually abused her 14-year-old daughter. Federal officials identified 36 girls, some as young as 14 years old, whom Epstein had allegedly sexually abused. Epstein pleaded guilty and was convicted in 2008 by a Florida state court of procuring a child for prostitution and of soliciting a prostitute. He was convicted of only these two crimes as part of a controversial plea deal and served almost 13 months in custody, but with extensive work release. Epstein was arrested again on July 6, 2019, on federal charges for the sex trafficking of minors in Florida and New York. He died in his jail cell. On August 10, 2019, the medical examiner ruled that his death was a suicide by hanging. Epstein's lawyers have disputed the ruling, and there has been significant public skepticism about the true cause of his death. Sorry. Resulting in numerous conspiracy theories. In 2025, the Federal Bureau of Investigation released CCTV footage supporting the conclusion that Epstein died by suicide in his jail cell. However, when the Department of Justice released the footage, approximately 2 minutes and 53 seconds of it were missing. And the video was found to have been modified, despite the FBI's claims that it was raw. Since Epstein's death precluded the possibility of pursuing criminal charges against him, a judge dismissed all criminal charges on August 29, 2019. Epstein had a decades-long association with a British socialite, Ghislaine Maxwell, who recruited young girls for him, leading to her 2021 conviction on U.S. federal charges of sex trafficking and conspiracy for helping him procure girls, including a 14-year-old, for child sexual abuse and prostitution. Damn. Jeffrey Edward Epstein was born on January 20th, 1953. In the Brooklyn borough of New York City, born on January 20th, 1953 in Brooklyn. His parents, Paula Stolofsky and Seymour George Epstein, were Jewish. And had married in 1952, shortly before his birth. Pauline worked as a school aide and was a homemaker. Paula was a wonderful mother and homemaker. Is it Paula or Paula? Was a wonderful mother and homemaker, despite the fact that she had a full-time job, according to a former childhood friend of Epstein's. Seymour worked for the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation as a groundskeeper and gardener. Jeffrey was the older of two siblings. He and his brother Mark grew up in the working-class neighborhood of Seagate, a private gated community in Coney Island, Brooklyn. Epstein was referred to as Bear by his parents, while Mark was known as Puggy. Neighbors described the Epstein family as being so gentle, the most gentle people. Epstein attended local public schools, first attending Public School 188 and then Mark Twain Junior High School nearby, and usually earned money by tutoring classmates. Acquaintances considered Epstein sweet and generous, although quiet and nerdy, and nicknamed him Epi. He was just an average boy, very smart in math, slightly overweight, freckles, always smiling, a female friend later said. In 1967, Epstein attended the National Music Camp at the Interlochen Center for the Arts. He began playing the piano when he was 5 and was regarded as a talented musician by friends. He graduated in 1969 from Lafayette High School at age 16, having skipped 2 grades. Later that year, he attended advanced math classes at Cooper Union until he changed colleges in 1971. From September of 1971, he attended the Courant Institute of Mathematical Sciences at New York University, studying mathematical physiology. Is that even a real thing? But left without receiving a degree in June of 1974. He was the younger. No, he was the older. 2 siblings. He graduated high school. In 1969 from Lafayette High School at age 16. Until 1971, then left and attended Courant Institute of Mathematical Sciences at New York University. He left without receiving his degree in June of 1974. I don't know how relevant any of this will be, but Stolovsky. Career. Wait. My sandwich is here. Hold on. JCS video on Prince Andrew. We watched this, but it was really cringe. The video contains content from BBC Studios, who has blocked it in your country. Uh-oh. BBC or the APAC Studios? Let's be real. One sec. Fuck. What do I eat while or watch while I eat this? I can't believe this is really blocked. Well, fuck it. Go back to this.
Makes us on Angie, he has to make damage control. What was even more cowardly was after the fact, when he made a new video recovering the situation, he tried to blame himself deleting the video on his sponsor not getting good views.
The video was called "Do Streamers Have Hard Jobs?" And the reason I took it down is because we had...
Wait! Actually, no, wait, fuck this. Apparently that video was really good though. Go watch it if you want. We watched the one guy the other day, and he has a crypto video on Trump stuff. What was the name of the channel, though? Fern. Fantano versus XQC? Wait, do they debate each other or something?
Do you know this logo? Probably not. But it's a company that's about to make Trump and his family billions. Trump doubled his fortune within a year thanks to crypto. The Trump family is positioning themselves as major players in the industry, leveraging the presidency like no one before them. So investigative reporters took a closer look at their crypto ventures, and they uncovered a story of get-rich-quick advisors and dating gurus turned business partners, of foreign investment, White House access for sale, post-fraud lawsuits, and presidential pardons. The world's most powerful man is reshaping an industry his businesses are deeply invested in. And somehow, outside that industry, hardly anyone seems to notice. How did the Trump family pull this off?
That's why I am rich. Though I got no money, no, I am rich. Isn't it funny, though?
This video is partially based on an investigative report by Eric Lipton, David Yaffe-Bellani, and Ben Protez for the New York Times. You'll find the link in the description.
Fake news.
In 2019, Trump tweeted, quote, "I'm not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money, and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. Unregulated crypto assets can facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade and other illegal activity." In 2021, he said,
Bitcoin, it just seems like a scam.
But by July 2024, he said this during a Bitcoin conference in Nashville.
This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world.
A stark turnaround. What happened? When Biden enters office in 2020, his administration increases regulation of the crypto industry in several ways. The goal
They entered office at the beginning of 2021.
Is to better protect investors from the risks and volatility of the crypto market. Most importantly, the Biden administration empowers the Securities and Exchange Commission to regulate crypto companies. The SEC goes into action under the newly appointed chairman Gary Gensler. It starts charging crypto companies to create legal precedent. For example, the agency goes after the creators of the Terra cryptocurrency. Terra wiped out $40 billion in market value when it collapsed in 2022. It charges the responsible company and its founder with orchestrating a multi-billion-dollar crypto asset securities fraud. The SEC argues that cryptocurrencies are simply securities, a financial asset like stocks. That definition comes with a whole set of compliance requirements, which crypto companies often don't meet. So the agency goes after them for listing unregistered securities, for misleading marketing, and for failing to register tokens as securities. Within 3.5 years, the agency issues roughly $6 billion in total penalties across about 100 cases. The crypto industry doesn't like it. In their view, it doesn't make sense to treat all crypto as securities. According to them, they don't fit the definition. They want less regulation. And so do many crypto enthusiasts who feel that the Biden administration is hostile towards crypto. Enter the presidential race of 2024. A sizable chunk of voters is worried about this issue. Over 50 million Americans own crypto, and over 2 million join a crypto advocacy group. Politically, it makes sense for Trump to change course.
Over 50 million Americans own crypto? I don't know if I believe that. Does this include, like, if you own, like, part of a huge ETF and that ETF has, like, some diversified part in crypto? That sounds really high, but...
To appeal to these voters and corporations frustrated with his opponent.
I pledge to the Bitcoin community that the day I take the oath of office, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's anti-crypto crusade will be over. It will end. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman.
He first dipped his toes into crypto in 2022 with...
That's like 12% of Americans or something. It's really not that many. Wait, that was a troll, right?
An NFT collection. He claims seeing how many people paid in crypto for these NFTs changed his mind on the issue. Also, he begins to receive sizable donations from crypto companies for his presidential campaign. This election is the first time the crypto industry went all in on lobbying efforts. But another thing is happening behind the scenes. Donald Jr. and Eric are the key players in the Trump family's business operations. According to the New York Times, they supposedly convinced their dad that embracing crypto would not just be a smart political move, they could also make quite a bit of money with it. They came up with two ideas, a coin and a bank. Both will be incredibly successful. It's not just money. Our lives are increasingly digital. But until recently, mobile internet was annoyingly physical. We travel a lot for our reporting, and a hefty roaming charge will scare flight mode right into you. But recently, we completely switched to Sally's eSIM service. No more hassle to find a SIM on site, no more ripoffs and insane roaming charges. Sally gets us instant eSIM data in 200 destinations. That's fast, borderless connectivity straight from our phones. Just download the app, pick one of their many, many plans, and install with a few clicks. Their pricing is more than fair, and you can easily top up. It's legitimately a game changer. And that's not all. Sally comes with a bunch of useful extras. A virtual location feature for more privacy, and an ad ad blocker that saves up to 28.6% data. And right now, you can get an exclusive 15% discount on Sally's data plans. Simply download the app and use code FERNTV at checkout. We can wholeheartedly recommend it. Meme coins are like digital collectibles. There's a limited supply for each coin, and if one takes off, its value can skyrocket. On January 17, Trump unveils his own meme coin.
Holy shit. I just realized that's what meme coin means. I always used meme coin as like a insult. Like this coin is a fucking meme, but I guess it actually means that you buy memes with it. I guess it's the same thing, really. It should be. Oh god, that hurts me so much more. I should have clarified that in the past, because meme coin, I guess, sounds semi-legitimate, I guess, to these people. Fuck me.
It comes with a disclaimer that it's not an investment opportunity and has nothing to do with any political office. The launch goes extremely well. Millions of people buy it. Within days, it becomes one of the most popular and valuable meme coins in the world. 2 Trump businesses control 80% of all coins, a share worth $58 billion at one point. That would be about 90% of Trump's net worth. Shortly after, the value plummeted and so far never recovered. In consequence, nearly half of the people who bought this coin lost money. A tiny group of people made enormous profits. The Trump family hasn't actually sold their coins, which are still theoretically worth billions. But they made an incredible amount of money nonetheless, through the sale of the tokens and transaction fees. The Financial Times estimates a figure of at least $335 million. Under the Biden administration, Trump's and other meme coins might have been investigated by the SEC. They're a hotbed for wild financial speculation and scams, and most buyers tend to lose money. But that doesn't happen in this case. And once Trump is in power, he replaces the head of the SEC, as promised.
On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman.
Shortly after, the agency publishes a statement saying that meme coins are essentially not to be investigated or regulated by them because they can't be defined as securities. The agency also ends their investigation into several crypto companies. Experts are quick to point out a conflict of interest. The president and his family profit from crypto, while he's also the one setting crypto policy. Crypto executives fear Trump's coin could damage the industry's reputation, one they've been working to rebuild after years of scandals. But it doesn't end here. In April 2025, it's announced that the top 220 holders of Trump's coin will be invited to a private dinner with the president. The top 25 will also get access to an exclusive pre-dinner reception and a special VIP tour of the White House. Mostly foreign crypto investors spent a total of $148 million on Trump coins for a chance to attend. Crypto entrepreneur Justin Sun alone seems to have paid $16 million. More on him in a minute. The attendee list was not published, but other notable figures included the crypto investors Sungrock O, Kine Warwick, and the meme coin startup Memecore. This might give the impression that one can buy access to the President of the United States. Luckily, the White House clarified.
The President is abiding by all conflict of interest laws that are applicable. The American public believe it's absurd for anyone to insinuate that this President is profiting off of the presidency.
But all of this is just a tip of the iceberg. This story has been in the news extensively. Meanwhile, the full extent of the Trump family's involvement in crypto is concealed within a far more ambitious and far less public venture. According to Eric Trump, it's one of the most successful things they ever did. On September 16, 2024, Trump announced the launch of a new venture called World Liberty Financial. This new business is run by his sons Eric, Donald Jr., and Barron. The goal is to become a kind of crypto bank, a place where people can borrow and lend money in digital currencies. Their plans are laid out in this gold paper that has Trump all over it. He's listed as the company's chief crypto advocate. DT Marks DeFi LLC is a corporate entity of the Trump family. Trump's assets are managed by his children, but he still directly benefits from them. This entity owns roughly 40% of World Liberty Financial. The other 4 founders include Zach Witkoff and his father Steve Witkoff, a real estate mogul, longtime friend of Trump, and his special envoy to the Middle East. The Atlantic dubbed him the real Secretary of State. Then there are Zachary Falkman, known as Z-Money, and Chase Harrow. The two were reportedly brought in through Zach Witkoff, and they had rather interesting careers before teaming up with the president's family to launch a crypto bank. Z-Money once ran a site called Date Hotter Girls.
Like what it is that you want to do to this girl, throwing her up against the wall and ripping her clothes off.
According to the New York Times, the two also sold colon cleanses and gave get-rich-quick advice.
First 14 days of January, I made $1 million net. I became a man.
In any case, this team gets right to work. First, World Liberty Financial begins to sell a new cryptocurrency called Wilfi. The Trump family is entitled to 75% of the revenue from these coin sales, after a minimum has been generated that will stay in the company. Whoever buys gets voting rights in the company in the future. The purchase essentially makes you a shareholder. The Trump family owns $22.5 billion of these coins. The goal is to sell $300 million worth of this new currency. But at the end of October, sales are at just a few $1 million. Then, election night changes everything.
Thank you very much. Wow. Incredible movement.
Incredible.
This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before.
I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman.
Big things on the horizon for World Liberty Financial. Suddenly, people are starting to buy. Many investors are from places like Singapore, South Korea, Hong Kong, and the United Arab Emirates. They are legally not allowed to donate to a presidential campaign, but Wilfi offers a nice workaround to back Trump. Other investors previously had trouble with the SEC. Here, one man stands out, Justin Sun. At the time, the SEC is suing him and his companies for fraud and securities violations. They allege the unregistered trading of securities.
You need a context clip for that tweet to hit? No, you don't. Anybody who's most successful venture with crypto is a fucking loser. You don't need any context for that. Fuck that.
Extensive wash trading to make it seem that particular coins had trading activity to inflate their price, and the undisclosed promotion of 2 coins through multiple celebrities. Sun spends a total of $75 million on World Liberty's coins after the election.
Wait, this wasn't the guy who was involved in the, was it the website like crypto.com? Am I imagining this? Was this a fever dream during COVID that like Matt Damon was doing commercials for? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Oh my God.
With 4 simple words that have been whispered by the intrepid since the time of the Romans. Fortune favors the brave.
That notorious
I call it the wheel.
I don't think so. What does it do?
It rolls.
Yeah, so does a bagel, okay? A bagel you can eat. One of the worst ideas I've ever heard.
Brother David, behold, the fork. I got 10 forks right here, baby. Am I right?
Wouldn't it only be 5 forks?
My lord? What is it? A toilet, my lord. A toilet? You expect this court to do its business inside? We're not animals. We go outside like humans.
It's coffee. It's new.
Oh, it's awful.
You don't like it?
I'm all jittery and feel like I got a big job coming on.
Hancock, you sign first.
No king! Gentlemen, have you taken leave of your senses?
The people shall have the right to vote.
Even the stupid ones?
Yes.
Stupid people vote?
Yes.
The only part that makes you wonder.
Edison, can I be honest with you? It stinks. Does your wife know what's going on here?
She knows I go to work.
You're wasting your time, and it's sad. You might as well put the dishes in the shower.
Hey, Catherine, what's cooking? We're putting a man on the moon.
Are you out of your mind? I can't even get tuna without celery. Nobody's going to the moon, ever.
Why not?
It's too far. It's far. It's really far. It's far.
我々の未来はポータブルミュージックです。
バカかバカかわかるだろうわかるだろうわかるだろう出て行けみんないるのか怖いんだあバッタリがいつも言えるぞバッタリどこバッタリ
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never. Franklin! Hey, I left my cane in there. What? What do you mean? Hey, that's an expensive cane!
What happened with FTX again? Yeah, maybe Larry was right. The trial ended on November 2nd, 2023, with the jury pronouncing Bankman-Fried guilty on all 7 counts. The sentencing hearing was scheduled for March 28th, 2024. Sentenced him to 25 years in prison. Under provisions of the First Step Act and in conjunction with the other time credit programs, he may actually serve approximately 18 years. The court ordered the defendant to pay the sum of $11.02 billion in forfeiture for engaging in a series of fraudulent actions against customers and investors. Prison consultant? That's a job? Wait, what? A prison consultant provides newly convicted criminals with advice on how to cope and survive in prison. Prison consultants may also provide a client's attorney with advice on how to lobby the sentencing judge for a shorter sentence. They may advise white-collar and celebrity criminals, high-level drug dealers, and disgraced politicians to help them navigate prison. Well, this is like a nice form of employment for convicts, ex-cons. Jesus.
According to him, that has nothing to do with the giant lawsuit and is simply
Wait a second. How has this guy not been pardoned yet? That's the real question. What?
a vote of confidence in Trump. Then Trump is inaugurated and Gensler steps down as chairman of the SEC. Shortly after, the agency requests to pause the lawsuit against Sun. In 2024 alone, Trump made 57...
Yeah, I remember that. That leaked document was fucking hilarious. They thought, I think, that they were going to get caught, and then they had like a plan for like, okay, well, if we got caught, you know, what are we going to do? These are all random, probably bad ideas that aren't vetted, confidential. 1, file the doc with problems about the Chapter 11 process, that's bankruptcy. New draft here. 2, go with the, quote, the lawyers were in a shitty situation, and I feel really bad about that. And like most people do, they reacted poorly to difficult circumstances. Narrative. 3, go on Tucker Carlson, come out as a Republican. While public contributions show one thing, you see another thing, including super PACs, come out against the woke agenda, talk about how the cartel of lawyers is destroying value and throwing entrepreneurs under the bus in order to cover up the incompetence of lawyers. 4, leak this document to the press. 5, focused almost exclusively on the fact that we could give value back to customers and the Chapter 11 team is destroying it. Focus on the fact that the Chapter 11 team has no idea how to run FTX. It's colonial, run by a cartel of lawyers. Come out as extremely pro-crypto and pro-freedom. Come out with a strong anti-Binance message. Go head-to-head with Matt Levine on Odd Lots. Really lean into arguments. I would have loved to have seen that. Lean in to the story. Really, it was because of tail risk crashes. This was improbable. NAV was like plus 50 billion earlier this year. Radical honesty on Twitter. Just explain exactly what happened in detail. Send out a Twitter poll asking people what to do.
So
Tucker Carlson didn't. I didn't even know this.
Yeah, I'm well.
So he did get his interview with Tucker Carlson. He was just a little bit too late, I guess.
I'm in MDC Brooklyn. In a
I gotta say, we've never talked before, but obviously I've watched you from afar, and I just also say I feel sorry for every man in prison, no matter what he's accused of or did. I don't think we should be locking people away. I guess we have to, but I feel sorry for everyone in prison. I'll just say, call me liberal. But you do seem kind of healthier and less jumpy, I have to say, after 2 years in prison.
You know, I've had a lot of time to reflect on how to communicate, and in retrospect, you know, I think I was not effective at communicating, especially when the crisis first hit. And, you know, in the months thereafter, I made a mistake I often make. I get swept up in details and forget to communicate the bigger picture.
You seem like you were just flying high on Adderall every time I saw you on TV. You don't seem that way now. Were you?
No, I wasn't. But I was, my mind was racing because there were, you know, a billion things to keep track of. You know, which sort of typically I'd have, and back when I was running FTX, you know, I'd go on to have an interview, but, you know, while on the interview, there'd be 2 issues I'd have to resolve with the company. So I'd have sort of one eye on Slack open, responding to messages, and I knew that I had something else I had to do right after the interview that I hadn't had time to prepare for yet, that I was sort of preparing for in the back of my mind.
So maybe, like, the digital world is bad for us. Is that, I mean, like, what's your view of that? You've been taken away from your phone. So
yeah.
Glaze Trump.
What do you think of the future of crypto? I mean, obviously, you must have complicated feelings since you were in a crypto company, you're in jail because of it, but you know a lot about the topic. You sort of feel like things are moving very fast on crypto. Do you think they're moving in a good direction? I know it's sort of weird to ask you this question, but I can't resist.
No, hopefully is what I would say. You know, you look at what the Trump administration said, you know, going into office. There are a lot of good things. There are a lot of things that, you know, were very different from the stance that the Biden administration took, that you know, Gensler and the SEC took. Obviously, the follow through is what matters, and that's the stage that we're at now, which is what will come of this. And I mean, not surprisingly, like changing the guard helps, but financial regulators, they're big, giant bureaucracies in the federal government. They're not used to changing overnight. And they have been playing a really obstructive role for, a decade in crypto. The US, it's 30% of the world's finance. It's about 5% of the world's crypto. And the reason it's entirely regulatory, it's just the US was unique in its difficulty to work with. So I think the big question is, what's the reason it's entirely regulatory? It's just the US was unique in its, the US, it's 30% of the world's finance. It's about 5% of the world's crypto. And the reason it's entirely regulatory, it's just the US was unique in its difficulty to work with. So I think the big question is,
as compared to who?
When rubber meets the road, will the administration do what needs to be done and figure out how to do it?
I mean, I remember when the concept of crypto first arrived in the popular press, and the whole idea was that this was a currency that could restore to the individual his freedom of commerce. I get to buy and sell things without the government controlling me, and I could do it privately. It would restore my privacy as well. And that obviously has never happened. It doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen, and I don't hear anybody say it anymore. And now it just seems like it's kind of another asset scam. Whatever happened to, I mean, these are broad brush statements, but whatever happened to the privacy thing?
It's a really good question. And there's sort of related thing about the technology, right? Payments, remittances, all the things that are not just an investment, but ways that crypto could actually be useful for the world. They happen on longer time scales than investments do, basically. With what social media has become, you see bubbles, grow and pop on a daily, monthly basis. Technology is built out on a decade basis. So, right now, crypto is not quite at a point where it could become an everyday tool of, a quarter of the world or something. The tech isn't there yet, but it's not that far away. And this is an if the industry keeps making progress rather than getting distracted too much by market prices, then, 5-10 years from now, you can imagine.
I don't know anything about Binance. FTX indictment, a little bit of fraud. Binance indictment, LOL, fuck it, we ball. Zhao, give them a heads up to ensure they don't connect from a US IP, don't leave anything in writing. They have non-US entities. Let's also make sure we don't hit the biggest market makers with that email first. Do you have Signal? After receiving information regarding Hamas transactions, Lim explained to a colleague that terrorists usually send small sums, as large sums constitute money laundering. Lim's colleague replied, you could barely buy an AK-47 with $600. Binance customers, including customers from Russia, let me acknowledge, Chad, come on, they are here for crime. Binance's MLRO agreed that we see the bad, but we close 2 eyes. A deliberate approach where they conduct their operations through various entities to avoid regulation. If the user is a big trader or a smart one, he or she will get the hint. Just do a half-assed individual sub-audit. Fake the annual MLRO report. Lim, who was aware that Binance did not have a board of directors. It's fine, I can get management to sign off on the fake report in no time. Jesus, what happened with Binance? I didn't even know what Binance was. Was it another big exchange? Small funds don't get around money laundering laws. No, but I believe if you do a $10,000 transfer, I think that any amount in $10,000 or more will always flag some regulator. I don't know who. Is it the FDIC? I'm not sure, but some regulator always gets flagged on those types of transactions. Binance also intentionally tried to hide the scope of its compliance program's ineffectiveness from its business partners. Oh, I thought this was from regulators, from their business partners. Oh no. For example, in or around October 2020, Binance underwent a compliance audit to satisfy a request from Paxos. But according to Lim, Binance purposely engaged in a compliance auditor that would just do a half-assed individual sub-audit on geofencing to buy us more time. As part of this audit, the Binance employee who held the title of Money Laundering Reporting Officer lamented that she needed to write a fake annual MLRO report to the Binance board of directors. What the fuck? Lim, who was aware that Binance did not have a board of directors, nevertheless assured her, yeah, it's fine. I can get management to sign off on the fake report. Around the same time as the referenced half-assed compliance audit in November 2020, the MLRO exclaimed to Lim in a chat, I has no confidence in our geofencing. Internally, Binance officers, employees, and agents have acknowledged that the Binance platform has facilitated potential legal activities. For example, in February 2019, after receiving information regarding Hamas transactions on Binance, Lim explained to a colleague that terrorists usually send small sums, as large sums constitute money laundering. Lim's colleague replied, "You can barely buy an AK-47 with $600. As with regard to certain Binance customers, including customers from Russia, Lim acknowledged in a February 2020 chat, like, come on, they're here for crime. Binance's MLRO agreed that we see the bad, but we close two eyes." That's where it was. Jesus. Lim's internal discussions with compliance colleagues illustrate that Binance has tolerated Binance customers' use of the platform to facilitate illicit activity. For example, in July 2020, a Binance employee wrote to Lim and another colleague asking if a customer whose recent transactions were very closely associated with illicit activity and over 5 million USD worth of his transactions were indirectly sourced from questionable services should be offboarded, or if it was in the class of cases where we would want to advise the user that they can make a new account. Lim chatted in response, "Can let him know to be careful with his flow of funds, especially from darknet like Hydra. He can come back with a new account, but this current one has to go. It's tainted." For example, in September 2020 chat, Lim explained to Binance employees that they don't need to be so strict. Offboarding equals bad in CZ's eyes. Sort of the messaging, I think, would develop it. Okay, sort of. Okay, wait. For example, on June 9th, 2019, around the time Zhao and Binance hatched their secret plot to retain U.S. customers, even after the launch of Binance Chief Financial Officer stated during a meeting with senior management. What is this? Even after the launch of Binance US? Binance.us. Oh, I see. Okay. Even after the launch of Binance.us, Binance's chief financial officer stated during a meeting with senior management, including Zhao, it's Zhao. No, ZH has a different pronunciation. I keep forgetting it. She is as like XH or something, right? What is ZH? Sort of. Is it J? Zhao. Sort of. The messaging, I think, would develop it as we go along is rather than saying we're blocking the US, is that we're preparing to launch Binance.us. So we would never admit in publicly or privately anywhere that we serve US customers in the first place, because we don't. So it just so happens that we have a website and people sign up and we have no control over access by US customers, but we will never admit that we openly serve US clients. That's why the PR messaging is very, very critical. CZ, I know it's a pain in the ass, but it is my duty to constantly remind you, 1, we have made no mention of sanctions or support of sanctions on our platform already. And 2, are we going to proceed to block sanctioned countries' IP addresses? We currently have users from sanctioned countries on the .com. Or do you want to adopt a clearer strategy after we engage and finalize our USA strategy? Downside risk is if FinCEN or OFAC, financial something or OFAC, I don't know, has concrete evidence that we have sanctioned users, they might try to investigate or blow it up big on the world stage. In the same chat, Lim recognized that Binance's customer support was teaching people how to circumvent US sanctions. Jesus. Any crypto companies wanted to sponsor you? Maybe, but anything having to do with crypto NFTs, I generally, since I started doing like just mainly political stuff, I usually just ignore. But also like a lot of those things are like automated emails and shit anyway, so I don't even know how serious a lot of them are. Anything having to do with any AI shit. Actually, it's really just all of them. I don't think I've taken a sponsor in like a year and a half. Oh, except for Ground News. FinCEN is Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. Guys, this is why you're supposed to have 2 sets of books, okay? The regulators aren't supposed to see your actual illegal communications. Jesus Christ. Binance is so effective at obfuscating its location and the identities of its operating companies that it has even confused its own chief strategy officer. For example, in September of 2022, he was quoted as saying that Binance is a Canadian company. The chief strategy officer's statement was quickly corrected by a Binance spokesperson who clarified that Binance is an international company. Jesus. Wait, am I reading? Is this 120? What the fuck? Binance customer. Wait. How much can you normally leverage in the crypto world? Binance customers may trade quarterly futures and perpetual contracts on margin or with leverage. The amount of leverage offered by Binance for trading in its quarterly futures and perpetual contracts has varied over time across its products and categories of customers. During the relevant period, customers have been allowed to trade Binance's quarterly futures and perpetual contracts with leverage ratios of up to 125 times. A leverage ratio of 125x means a customer with 1 Bitcoin in their account can assume a position worth 125 Bitcoin. Unlike the leverage that Binance offers in connection with its spot markets, Binance does not actually extend its customers a loan when providing leverage to trade in Binance's derivative markets. Jesus Christ. We've done some research on this. Right now, most of the gamification trading are based on some complex derivative financial instruments, such as binary options, exotic options, or perpetual swaps. The reason why we did the futures battle is we wanted to lower the barrier of complex financial products and increase the conversion/retention rate. But there are two things that we need to be very careful of. One, usually these kinds of products look like gambling, which may bring us some compliance and reputation risk. So we need to make sure the product does not look like a gamble game. And two, users might be much easier to get addicted to these products. So we need to enhance responsible trading, or you could say playing as well. Okay. Jesus. Oh, they were communicating over Signal. How did all these get leaked or caught? Destiny, you don't even know the half of it. Binance used to have flash crashes on futures, coin prices that would make the spot price of that coin implode. It would trigger auto liquidation of the margin loans and destroy people. They 100% were allowing it to happen, / causing it sometimes. Well, I mean, like if you're leveraged 125%, I feel like if the wind, like if a breeze came through the office, your position would get liquidated. What the fuck? No, I'm sorry, not 125%, 125 times.
$7 million from Will-Fi token sales. We're at Liberty Financial is just getting started though. Next step, a transformative initiative. They supposedly set out to help out smaller crypto companies by investing into their coins. But the New York Times found out that these deals apparently have a not-so-public second layer. Apparently, where Liberty Financial doesn't simply buy other coins, they may propose asymmetrical currency swaps. This is how it would go. A company buys somewhere between $10 and $30 million of WillFi, and in turn, World Liberty Financial buys a smaller chunk of their coin. This way, World Liberty would reportedly make up to a 20% premium on these deals. The company's argument for these types of deals is supposedly that they're like super close to the president. Some crypto companies apparently felt World Liberty was essentially selling an endorsement, but reportedly several crypto companies struck deals with World Liberty Financial. Many others rejected them, calling the supposed approach dishonest. World Liberty Financial told the New York Times that it would be false.
I take issue with the name of this video. And I will say again, this is why Pisco is, I would bet everything I own that he's wrong on the Hassan stuff. Trump is not secretly doing any of this. All of this is just so blatantly out in the open. None of this is a fucking secret. It's called Trump coin. He called it $Trump. Jesus Christ, it's like shameless as fuck.
Absurd and dangerous to suggest that investments or partnerships with World Liberty Financial were conducted as some sort of political quid pro quo. But the New York Times found even more troubling coincidences. World Liberty Financial announced a partnership with Athena Labs in December 2024 and bought $5 million of their cryptocurrency. One of Athena's investors pleaded guilty to violating the Bank Secrecy Act in 2022. Trump pardoned him in March of 2025.
Get rid of it.
Trump also called for legislation to govern stablecoins so they could better operate in the US. Those are cryptocurrencies designed to always be worth $1. Shortly after World Liberty Financial introduced their own stablecoin, USD1. It already has a market cap of over $2 billion, making it the 5th biggest stablecoin in the world. The coin was used for a $2 billion investment into Binance by MGX. Binance is the world's largest crypto exchange. Changpeng Zhao is the founder and former CEO of the company.
This is mega mind as fuck, dude.
Last year, he was sentenced to 4 months in prison after pleading guilty to money laundering in the US. In light of this deal, Zhao met with Zach Witkoff, Z-Money, and Chase Harrow. MGX, on the other hand, is a state-owned investment company in Abu Dhabi. The deal was led by the National Security Advisor of the United Arab Emirates. Again, some worry this could present a conflict of interest. One could argue that through this deal, a foreign country is directly contributing to the financial benefit of the US president. And this deal is just one part of the Trump family's growing business relations in the Middle East. There's more, though. The Trump Media and Technology Group is the company behind Trump's Truth Social platform. In May, it raised more than $2 billion to buy Bitcoin. This makes the company effectively a giant bet on the cryptocurrency. Just 2 months prior, Trump had announced a national crypto reserve. Specifically, Bitcoin and Ether would be at the heart of it. In turn, these two coins and many others gained in value significantly for a period. World Liberty Financial had also been buying $240 million worth of Ether in the months before the announcement. Yet another Trump venture recently raised $220 million for Bitcoin mining. So, what does all of this mean? There are many moving pieces to the story. Reports of possibly secretly sold stakes, an apparent divestment by Steve Witkoff, new maneuvers to align WillFi and the Trump meme coin. But this is the big picture. According to Forbes, crypto now makes up most of Trump's wealth, around 60%. Just think about that for a second. He inherited and
because he never had much otherwise. This guy was only wealthy because he was a TV star. That's what Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is a TV star. He's not a real estate mogul. He's not like a business investor genius or whatever. He's a reality TV star. He inherited a lot from his dad. He mismanaged the fuck out of a ton of it, but he made a fuck ton of money doing The Apprentice. And that's all he has. That's why his brand is his brand. Nobody that I've heard of, maybe in different arenas, maybe people have talked differently about it. Nobody like talks about like Trump brand anything like it's the shit. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I've never in my life heard somebody say, "Oh my God, we got to get some Trump steaks." Oh my God, if you go to New York, you got to go see Trump Tower. It's like the most amazing. It's just like gaudy, gross, overhyped, narcissistic, like shitty fucking. It's just like, oh yeah, you got to go to Trump University. Jesus, he's a TV star.
Expanded a real estate empire for half a century. Now it took just a year for him to double his wealth. Is it a coincidence that this is also the year he became president again? The year in which he seized control of the most important regulatory bodies around crypto? The New York Times writes that World Liberty Financial has erased centuries-old presidential norms, eviscerating the boundary between private enterprise and government policy in a manner without precedent in modern American history. The picture Trump's crypto ventures are painting is that of an oligarchy, where rich people in trouble with the law suddenly don't have trouble anymore, where foreign governments and investors enrich the US leader directly, and where you get to go to the White House if you just give the Trump family enough money.
Like, I don't even know if Putin is this blatant with his shit, right? Well, like, what if you would ask Putin about oligarchy sucking up to him or giving him money personally? I don't even know if they're this open in Russia about it. Like, you at least pretend.
We asked World Liberty Financial for a comment. They did not get back to us.
Witkoff is working the deals, and the Trumps are involved in at least a few of them. There's like a dozen now. Wait, what? Do you have a source for that? I'm curious if that's actually true. Because that would be crazy if there was like an open direct. Wait, what the fuck? Is it confirmed that this is AI, or is there an explanation for... Well, like, why are people... Like, why do the numbers alternate colors back here for... Are there video recorders that do that? Person tweeted said, so is this the first time AI is popping off undetected for just making up a fake crime video? No one in the comments mentioning it's obviously AI, question mark, question mark, question mark. Teleporting bag moment. Is that a teleporting bag? Well, no, hold on. Some of these, like, you can hold a lot of shit in bags sometimes. Like, it could have been, like, folded in or whatever. Like this chick. Look at this.
Well, first things first. I always said the place to hang a hat is on a hat stand.
Explain that one. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to read this. And I don't care about this. A month before President Trump's inauguration, Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff flew to the United Arab Emirates with 2 goals, discussing regional issues with the Abu Dhabi royal, known as the Spy Sheikh, and attending a cryptocurrency conference. Less than 5 months later, Witkoff's son, co-founder of the crypto venture, World Liberty... Oh, I didn't even know that they were connected like that. Oh, no... Witkoff is our foreign envoy who flies around and cuts all these deals. He's the one who got us. Remember when we were all debating all the retarded fuck lefty pro-Pally retards who were like, they got a ceasefire instantly because Steve Witkoff flew before Trump was even elected. Steve Witkoff flew to, I don't even know if he flew anywhere, but supposedly he negotiated a deal for us. And then he's also negotiated tons of ceasefires in Russia and Ukraine as well. This is our foreign envoy that does all these negotiations. And then this was the guy who didn't know the regions in fucking Ukraine. He didn't know it was being contested.
Donbass, yes. Crimea.
Secret flip off.
Which is the largest country that borders Russia, not be in NATO. And that is my understanding, my certainty is that still remains the central demand, period. No, Ukraine and NATO can't have peace without that. Doesn't want Hamas in its border. They don't want that.
This is the guy who is negotiating peace deals in other countries, including Ukraine, Russia. Okay?
What?
This guy is.
Can the U.S. deliver that?
This guy is.
Well, first of all, I think the largest issue in that conflict are these so-called four regions: Donbass, Crimea, the names Lugansk, and there's two others. They're Russian-speaking.
Yep.
There have been referendums.
Like Donbass is a big geographic region that also encompasses Luhansk and Donetsk and Crimea. Like, it's just like, it's actually fucking retarded. Or I wouldn't say it's necessarily retarded. I wouldn't expect every person to know this. But our foreign envoy, who is negotiating these deals, this is the guy who is getting us ceasefires? Oh, how? Donbass, Lugansk.
So good to see you.
Less than 5 months later, Witkoff's son, co-founder of the crypto venture World Liberty Financial, took the stage at a conference in Dubai to announce the company had struck a deal for the Sheikh's company to buy $2 billion of their new cryptocurrency. The expected tens of millions of dollars in annual profits would be split between the Witkoffs and their co-founders and the Trump family, which holds a 60% stake in the company. I didn't know that they were connected like this. I didn't know that Witkoff was so closely associated with World Liberty Financial. I had no clue. I'm sorry, in that last video that we just watched, did they bring that up? Maybe they did. I was watching chat.
Chase Harris.
No, I think they did, his son. I didn't remember. Oh my God.
Father Steve Witkoff, a real estate mogul, longtime friend of Trump, and his special envoy to the Middle East.
Oh, he did, yeah. Sorry, we went off on the Binance. The Binance indictments.
East. The Atlantic dubbed him the real Secretary of State.
Also, yeah, why the fuck is this guy running off and negotiating? Why is this being handled by our fucking State Department? Maybe, is it ordinary? On May 15th, the elder Witkoff and the Sheikh, Tanoon bin Zayed Al Nahyan, met again, this time for the unveiling of an agreement long sought by the UAE that gives the oil-rich Gulf monarchy access to millions of advanced U.S.-made computer chips. Since assuming his role as special envoy, Witkoff, a 68-year-old longtime friend of Trump's, has crisscrossed the globe in diplomatic business. At the same time, his 32-year-old son, Zach Witkoff, and a crew of advisors and associates have traveled to at least 4 countries as they pursue cryptocurrency deals that would make World Liberty an industry leader. I just need you to remember this. I need you to remember this, okay? I need you to remember this, you inbred fucks. I need you to remember this, okay? I need you to remember this, okay? Witkoff is our special envoy picked by Donald Trump that is meeting with foreign leaders, okay? And his son is the co-founder of this World Liberty Financial, of which the Trump family holds a 60% stake in, that has made the Trump family, is it over $1 billion at this point? I know he said that it was like over half their net worth. From this company alone, I'm not sure what the overall valuation of this country is, okay? And nobody knows or cares about this, okay? Remember that. This is a connection that is, not only is this a connection that is easy to understand, all right? Not only is this a connection that's easy to understand, no one is even hiding it. This is not even being hidden, okay? But remember, we're doing it. Where's the Comer video? Find me that stupid fucking Comer video with that fat fucking piece of shit.
Remember when Joe Biden told the American people that his son didn't make any money in China?
Just remember, okay? So I know this is hard to follow, so we're gonna draw this, okay? Donald Trump is the president. He has a special encore. Sorry, I was saying encore and envoy. Special envoy is Steve Witkoff. Okay? This guy's son has a big business called World Liberty Financial that this guy owns his family owns a 60% stake in, all right? And I guess he travels with his dad, slurping up fucking huge cum loads all over the world. And the result of this is arguably worth more to Donald Trump than his entire lifetime of business ventures, okay? Donald Trump, the president, handpicked a special envoy whose son has a company that Donald Trump's family has a 60% stake in, okay? That is more than doubled his net worth, okay? Pretty simple to follow, right? But this is what you wasted your tax money spending 4 fucking years investigating, okay? Just so you can know the equivalent, all right? Also, nobody knows this Witkoff shit. Nobody even knows what a fucking special envoy. I don't know what a fucking special envoy is. So just a White House employee that goes and talks to people, I guess. Okay? Nobody knows anything about this. Everybody knows about the horrible stuff that's here.
Remember when Joe Biden told the American people that his son didn't make any money in China?
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China?
Well, not only did he lie about his son Hunter making money in China, but it also turns out that $40,000 in laundered China money landed in Joe Biden's bank account in the form of a personal check.
Okay, that's kind of weird that China paid Joe Biden $40,000, I guess.
And the Oversight Committee has it. Here's how Joe Biden benefited from his family's shady deal with CEFC, a Chinese Communist Party-linked company. It all began with a shakedown in the summer of 2017 when Hunter Biden sent a message to his CEFC associate demanding a $10 million capital payment. As Hunter Biden extorted this associate, Hunter claimed he was sitting with his father and that the Biden network would turn on his associate if he didn't pony up the money. The extortion scheme worked.
No proof.
Days later, $5 million flowed in from a Chinese affiliate of CEFC. Over the following 3 weeks, Biden family members made a series of complicated financial transactions to hide the source of the China money. Here's how that happened. First, Northern International Capital, a Chinese company associated with CEFC, wired $5 million to Hudson West 3, a joint venture established by Hunter Biden and a CEFC associate. Then Hudson West 3 sent $400,000 to an entity owned and controlled by Hunter Biden. Next, Hunter Biden wired $150,000 to Lion Hall Group, a company owned by James and Sarah Biden. Sarah Biden then withdrew $50,000 in cash from Lion Hall Group. Later the same day, she deposited it into her and James Biden's personal checking account. A few days later, Sarah Biden cut a check to Joe Biden for $40,000. The memo line of the check said loan repayment. Like the payment to Joe from America.
This is like, what is this, Ocean's 23? Is this the Down syndrome version of Frank Ocean and the massive heist to get $40,000 from China? What is this?
AmeriCorps funds, it's certainly plausible that the payment to Joe from AmeriCorps funds, it's certainly plausible that this payment where James and Sarah used funds from China was indeed a loan payment to Joe.
And he doesn't even know what the payment was for. They didn't even investigate it. All of the crimes that they allege here about extortion and blackmail and all of that, by the way, none of that was ever charged. None of this was ever proven. No evidence of any of that whatsoever that was ever presented to the American public, by the way.
Where James and Sarah used funds from China was indeed a loan payment to Joe. But even if this $40,000 check was a loan repayment from James Biden, it still shows how Joe benefited from his family cashing in on his name, with money from China no less, without his family peddling his name and his son threatening a secret.
And remember, what these ghouls like to do is they'll try to pull you in for these secret fucking hearings, okay? So they can pull you in for a secret hearing and then spin and do whatever the fuck they can with your testimony into whatever conspiratorial nonsense that they do. And that's why...
Chair,
That's why Hunter Biden was a fucking Giga Chad.
Recognizes Ms. Mace from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Chairman Comer. First of all, my first question is who bribed Hunter Biden to be here today? That's my first.
Because Hunter Biden, when they were having an open hearing, showed up and he said, hey, I'll testify publicly. What do you want to know?
Question. Second question, you are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls to come up here and...
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Mr. Chairman,
if the gentlelady wants to hear from Hunter Biden, we can hear from him right now, Mr. Chairman. Let's take
Hear from him publicly, not subpoena these closed door, closed hearing fucking bullshit sessions. If you want to fucking do a criminal investigation, then go take it up with the fucking DOJ. I don't even know how I feel about... I don't feel like Congress should even have the... that's probably too extreme. Should Congress even have the authority to issue a subpoena like this if you're not... Maybe for like a special... Maybe if you put together like a special panel for an investigation or something, or like a select committee for something, or maybe... Or otherwise, I just don't know why it wouldn't just be referred to for the DOJ. But to do a closed hearing? A private hearing? Maybe if it's a national security related thing, but...
Vote and hear from Hunter Biden. What are you afraid of?
Hold on. Order.
Are women allowed to speak in here or no? Are women allowed to speak in here? Could you keep interrupting me?
I'll interrupt the chairman. I don't know that he's a lady.
I think that Hunter Biden should be arrested right here, right now, and go straight to jail. Our nation is founded on the rule of law.
Come on.
And the premise that the law applies equally to everyone, no matter what your last
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of
order. It
order.
doesn't matter who you are.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Biggs over here.
Donald Trump Jr.
Biggs over here.
State your point, Mr. Biggs.
My point of order is this. Are we going to continue on with this blatant interruption? This is absurd and inappropriate. I intend to give my statement. I don't intend to have anybody interrupt it. I'm not going to interrupt your statements. I think you should have decorum and courtesy and don't act like a bunch of nimrods.
You just interrupted a woman.
And that's five.
I got permission.
What?
Decorum and courtesy and don't act like a bunch of nimrods.
You just interrupted a woman.
And that's five.
I got permission.
Can we agree? Everyone has 5 minutes. Can we agree?
Point of order again.
Congress has the power to do subpoenas in order to find information of them, make policy decisions. That can make sense, maybe, sure. But this was not that. This was a bullshit, another Ken Starr type investigation like they did with Bill Clinton. This is just another bullshit, or like they did with Hillary and her emails and Hillary and Benghazi.
The assertion that I interrupted was absolutely false. That's typical of the gentleman who spoke it. I got permission to speak from the chairman. I spoke. I was interrupted yet again by the gentleman who doesn't choose to go through the chair and follow proper order. I encourage us. I think if we're going to have any respect at all, we need to have proper decorum.
Well said. Well said.
I'd like to finish.
The rules are everyone's going to be recognized for 5 minutes. Anyone that wants to be recognized will be recognized for 5 minutes. Ms. Mace has 4 minutes and 13 seconds left. Chair recognizes Ms. Mace.
It does not matter who you are, where you come from, or who your father is, or your last name. Yes, I'm looking at you, Hunter Biden, as I'm speaking to you. You are not above the law at all. The facts in this case are crystal clear. This committee used and issued a lawful subpoena to Hunter Biden, a critical witness in this committee's investigation into Biden family corruption. Hunter Biden and his lawyers did not claim privilege of any kind because clearly he has none. They didn't contest the legitimacy of our reasons for issuing the subpoena, no reasons, because they clearly are legitimate. And yet he refused to comply. Trump's family members, Donald Trump Jr., he did not defy congressional subpoena. He showed up multiple times for multiple depositions for several hours. In doing so, Hunter Biden broke the law. He did so deliberately. You did so flagrantly. You showed up on the Hill, on the Senate side, the day of that congressional subpoena to defy it and spit in the face of this committee. That's what you did. The question the American people are asking us is, what is Hunter Biden so afraid of? Why can't you show up for a congressional deposition? You're here for a political stunt. This is just a PR stunt to you. This is just a game that you are playing with the American people. You're playing with the truth. Hunter Biden wasn't afraid to sell access to Joe Biden to the highest bidder when he was in elected office. He wasn't afraid to trade on the Biden brand, peddle influence, and share those ill-gotten gains with members of his family, including Joe Biden. He wasn't afraid to compromise the integrity of the presidency and vice presidency by involving...
It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Joe Biden's shady business deals with our foreign adversaries. But Hunter Biden, you were too afraid to show up for a deposition. And you still can't today. I believe that Hunter Biden should be held completely in contempt. I think he should be hauled off to jail right now. Because it wasn't long ago, too, my friends on the other side of the aisle, that you also believed in the power of a congressional subpoena. Not long ago at all. You believed in holding those who refuse to comply with congressional subpoena accountable. And I stood with each and every one of you. I am the only member in this room today who has held a member of my own party in contempt of Congress for not showing up for a subpoena. And I see nothing but complete hypocrisy on the other side of the aisle. The ranking member of this committee even so eloquently put it. The lesson is, please tell your children out there in America, if you get a subpoena to go before Congress, go. You have a legal responsibility to do so. So the hypocrisy is stunning. What are we to tell our children today? There's nothing the other side can say with a straight face. As the only member of this committee to vote to hold a member of contempt of my own party, let me be clear. This should not be a partisan issue. If Congress issues a subpoena, you show up, period. This is not a responsibility we take lightly. It brings no joy for us to do this, but the president's son broke the law and must be held accountable in the same way anybody else would. I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to do so. And my last message to you, Hunter Biden, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Will the gentlelady yield for a question? Will the gentlelady yield? Will my friend yield from South Carolina?
Sure.
I do want to commend the gentlelady who was the only Republican who stood up
and voted to hold in contempt the Republican members of the House who blatantly and categorically refused to comply with subpoenas that came from the bipartisan January 6th committee. I would like to ask my friend, Ms. Mace from South Carolina, whether she's aware of all the case law which says that the committee has to engage in good faith interaction with the witnesses they've called and they're supposed to arrive at a solution. And what do you think about the fact that the chairman on multiple occasions gave this witness the opportunity to come before the full committee and he agreed to that?
We issued a congressional subpoena, and I know with your constitutional law background, you know exactly what that means, and he should have...
She's playing games. She won't answer that. It has to be closed door because they don't want any of it to be public because they want to be able to twist and make this into whatever they want the thing to be. It's the only reason why that's why when the Republicans, that's why Trump and all of these other traitors, when they were saying like, oh, the J6 Select Committee, they deleted all the evidence. Deleted what evidence? Bullshit. It's a fucking lie. And that's why they can never point to anything. That's why when Tucker Carlson says, oh, we've got millions of hours of footage to release that exonerates all the J6, it never fucking happened because it was a fucking lie. It's always a lie. These are the games that they play and they accuse other people of playing them. But the Democrats don't. Should they? I don't know.
Shut up. And because of your vote, and because of your statements, you should be voting to hold this man in contempt of Congress today, right now, if you're going to be consistent on your own policies and your own words.
The clerk will call the roll. Mr. Chairman, we're going to have an opportunity to speak on the nominee.
Yes, we're going to. Oh, I'm sorry. We already had done that at great length.
Well, I think...
Dick Durbin Center. Oh, wrong. Different thing. Okay, sorry. Says, assuming his role as special envoy, Witkoff, a 68-year-old longtime friend of Trump's, is parallel father and son dealings with the UAE are a stark example of how world liberty's efforts have coincided with official government business. In pitch calls to crypto company, Zach Witkoff has described Trump as like a godfather and said that world liberty would be well positioned to take advantage of the growing number of crypto regulatory changes in the U.S. According to people familiar with the matter, his postings on X regularly cite his father's work for the White House. The extraordinary blurring of government negotiations and private business dealings is rewriting the diplomatic playbook for some foreign countries looking to gain traction with the new Trump administration. The extent to which Trump associates, including the Witkoffs, have sought business since the inauguration of the Persian Gulf and elsewhere has been previously reported. Nation hiring U.S. lobbyists and sending delegations to Washington to improve ties with the Trump White House, some countries seeking to advance their causes have met with family members of U.S. officials and their friends, according to people familiar with this. It's just like... Witkoff, who isn't taking a government salary and flies around the world on his personal jet, hasn't released a public financial disclosure. He said he would transfer his holdings to his sons. Oh, thank God. Is this the Beans lady, Nancy Mace? Yes, she's fucking insane. Oh, I remember that. Oh, so Tucker Carlson had the documents. They were right next to the Epstein files. He had the documents that were going to put away. Tucker Carlson was going to put away Hunter Biden for good.
There's always a lot going on that we don't have time to get to on the air, but there's something specific going on behind the scenes right now that we did feel we should tell you about. So on Monday of this week, we received from a source a collection of confidential documents related to the Biden family. We believe those documents are authentic, they're real, and they're damning. At the time we received them, my executive producer, Justin Wells, and I were in Los Angeles preparing to interview Tony Bobolinsky about the Biden's business dealings in China, Ukraine, and other countries. So we texted a producer in New York, and we asked him to send those documents to us in LA, and he did that. So Monday afternoon of this week, he shipped those documents overnight to California with a large national carrier, a brand name company that we've used, you've used countless times with never a single problem. But the Biden documents never arrived in Los Angeles. Tuesday morning, we received word from the shipping company that our package had been opened and the contents were missing. The documents had disappeared. Now, to its credit, the company took this very seriously and immediately began a search. They traced the envelope from the moment our producers dropped it off in Manhattan on Monday all the way to 3:40.
My dog ate my homework, literally.
4 a.m. yesterday morning. That's when an employee at a sorting facility in another state noticed that our package was open and empty. Apparently, it had been open. So the company's security team interviewed every one of its employees who touched the envelope we sent. They searched the plane and the trucks that carried it. They went through the office in New York where our producer dropped that package off. They combed the entire cavernous sorting facility. They used pictures of what we had sent so that searchers would know what to look for. They went far and beyond, but they found nothing. Those documents have vanished. As of tonight, the company has no idea and no working theory even about what happened to this trove of materials, documents that are directly relevant to the presidential campaign just 6 days from now. We spoke to executives at that company a few hours ago. They seemed baffled and deeply bothered by this, and so are we.
And they never reported on them. Like, just think about this. Just think about that. You didn't make a fucking copy? You didn't take a fucking picture? You didn't do anything to back up, theoretically, the most explosive expose in all of U.S. history? You just stuck it in the mail and hoped it would show up? You didn't fax anything? You like, there's no other thing you, like... Like, these people are demons, okay? These people are actual demons. Also, I didn't know, I don't know, like, all the drama backstory on this, because I'm just bored waiting for these kids to all turn on themselves. I mean, they already have, I guess. Is irrational... This isn't Chud Logic, is it? Producer for Chud Logic. I saw a clip floating around of Gisticle claiming I asked him to stop fighting Willie Mac / commentary people a few months ago. This is totally false. I offered to try and smooth things over when he said to me he didn't want to burn a bridge. See below. So Jew Stalker links something and says, so it was a bit frustrating seeing Willie and Nicholas spam that narrative to, like, get me, ? I literally reached out in private and made one comment in spicy. They went ham. Nicholas was on Augie like 3 to 4 nights later, trying to bring me up to shit on me. Willie tweeted at least 3 to 4 times about it. They look like retards now, but TDD, which, by the way, that stands for Total Destiny Destruction, or Total Destiny Death, I guess, depending on how you want to view it. TDD is the mission. I obviously don't want to burn any bridges with Nicholas, since he's one of the few connections I even tenuously have. It's so crazy how fucking coordinated this entire thing was. So this would have been at the time that Jew Stalker is fucking Cherry crazier, I guess, than she already is, telling her that he's going to be her Dr. K, and then is trying to, like, coordinate and bully every single other fucking person behind the scenes on... Just in case you didn't believe me on that. This Rootsy person used to be a fan that would show up in my YouTube chat as well. But good times. My coordinations. I'm so curious why these people... Wait, so the Binance guy and the Sam Friedman guy, they have not been pardoned. I wonder why not. I'm so curious why not. Wait, what's his name? This guy. No. Sam Bankman-Fried? Okay. I feel like... Why? Come on, Jews. Why would you have... Why? Ah, it's Mr. It's Mr. Usury. That's Lonerbox's head or deputy mod, by the way. Oh, based. Trump wants a big bribe. For them, his parents are loaded. Oh, maybe he donated too much money to the Democrats and now they're ass pained about it? Why? I didn't want to know that Witkoff stuff, dude. And I can never bring that up in a debate because everybody's just going to say they've never heard of it before. Jesus Christ. You need to find a counter to never heard of it? You can. It's an unbeatable strategy. Unbeatable. Okay, fuck this. We'll spend most of our hour reading this. I'm triggered. We just need to get to the next. We just need to get the midterms, boys, okay? I can't. Bop, draw, cross, buzz, dry, loan, pull, sway, bounce, twist. Oh, that's what they do on Trump's cock. Drag, shaken, pass, groove, gin, puff. Pull him away, drag him away, sway him from, draw him away, maybe? Ugh. Sway to, he has pull, he has sway, he has draw, he has drag, he has twist, bounce, pass, dry, bop? No. Fuck. I'm not thinking of the right. I'm not connecting these correctly. Are these things ways you can have like a drink? I don't know alcohol. Like shaken, you can have it like dry. With a twist? Is that like a lemon or something? Or a lime or something? And with gin, maybe? Please, yes. Yes! Martini. We got it. Okay. Pull, sway. Draw. Puff, cross, loan. Bop, bounce, pass. Oh, I'm not even. Fuck. To pull it. Pull, drag, sway. None of this is gonna. What? I don't know. Forget it. Kids bop. Kids drag. Ooh, no. What the fuck? Oh, you could like bop, bounce, groove. Cross. Is this like a dance move? Sway, cross, bop. Just go, 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 go. Fuck me. I don't know. Don't know, don't care. Get me out of here. Move to the music. Fuck, I was gonna do the sway one too. Bop, bounce, groove, and sway. To inhale. A drag, draw, a puff, and a pull. Do people say pull? Let me do a long pull on that. Okay. Buzzword, crossword, a loan word. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is a loan word? It's when you borrow a word from another language. Like what lawyers do all the time. Or actually, wait, I don't know if that counts as a loan word. I think a loan word is you have to, it's not like if a lawyer is like, oh, this is prima facie, this isn't a case. I don't know if that counts as a loan word or if you're just like, you're using Latin words there as opposed to like a faux pas might, or like cliche maybe. Croissant might be. Yeah, those might be loan words because they're like English words, but they're like borrowed from other languages directly. But I don't know if like Latin terms, I don't know if you would consider those loan words. They would just be Latin terms, I think. Please watch 7 minutes.
What if I told you that
the next 3 months will be massive for Bitcoin? I don't care. Go invest. Destiny to get the bop it red herring. Oh, true. Bop it. Pull it. Twist it. And then they made one where it was like flick it and spin it or roll it. How are you going to handle this background collusion shit? For most of it, I just am not involved in those communities anymore, so it doesn't matter. I just have to wait for this stupid court case to end. But don't worry, it's a new week starting tomorrow, and we're going to get... These rulings are coming. Please, God. They're on their way. Bop it.
Today,
Extreme.
what I got from Amazon is the bop.
Party! One-on-one, solo!
You change difficulty.
Novice!
For some reason, it's stuck at novice for some reason. There's also an Easter egg. I just have to pull it.
Well, read the start.
Okay, pull it.
Pass it.
Hold on.
Party! One-on-one, solo!
And then do this.
Expert, master, pro.
And bop it.
Pro. 2, 3 at a time. High score. 2.
What? There was Easter eggs.
It. Twist it. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Bend it. Flip it. Extend it. Load it. What? Load it. Cock it. Read it.
Your target is Senator Carlton McDougal. The 15th floor of the Gilmore building will provide an unobstructed vantage point?
Memorize it. Burn it. Aim it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Squeeze it.
I can't
Squeeze it. Squeeze it.
God, help me.
Beat it. Hoof it. Book it.
Who are you? What are you doing?
Fake it.
I was playing with my toy. I want my mommy. Why is your toy smoking?
End it.
Kiss. Give me that poppin' kid.
Is the mastermind behind the assassination in the courtroom today?
Zip it.
Suck it.
Wait, what was the last thing?
Bop it. Twist.
Suck it.
Damn it.
Okay. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay safe. Be careful. Don't die. I love you all so much.